Hey guys, it's Oberstadt. So I have a little bit of a different video today, and the other day when I did a full face of makeup, my dad actually told me, your foundation is too light. And I'm like, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I have all of the foundations that I currently own, which is only 5, in front of me. So I'm going to swatch them all on my face so that we can see what they look like wet versus dry. And I have a wet washcloth in the sink so I can clean my hand off in between. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in Porcelain. So this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus, and I'm just going to spread it out. On my face. The next one is the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse in Porcelain Ivory. And I'm just taking a little bit. Maybe that was a little too much. The next one is the Revlon Age Defying 3X Foundation in Fresh Ivory 05. And I'll do that over here. Now this one I know is too light. This is the Maybelline 24-hour foundation. This is in 102 Porcelain, but I usually mix it with another foundation. So I'm going to put a smidge of this on here, and then I'll put the rest of it right here. And this will make sense in a minute. This is also the Maybelline 24-hour foundation. This is in Classic Ivory in 120. And then I'm going to take a little bit more. So this is basically a 2-to-1 ratio. This is a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, so first we have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus in Porcelain. Then we have the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse in Porcelain Ivory, which is number 10. Over here we have the Revlon Age Defying 3X. And this one has SPF 20 in it. This is in Fresh Ivory 05. That's this one right here. Then we have the Maybelline 24-hour in 102. 120. Now, I do mix these two. Now, this is a 2-to-1 ratio, and this is a 1-to-1 ratio. This one's a little lighter than this one. And I don't have anything on my face other than my skincare from earlier. So Photo Focus, Dream Mousse, 3x Age Define, 24 hour and 102, 120, and then the 102, 120, 2-to-1, and 1-to-1 with the 102 and 120. And let me move this so that you can see the colors different. You can definitely see this one's a lot darker than this. You see the line where it gets darker right here. I will come back in a little bit when they are dry and record the rest of this. Hey guys, it's Rebecca. Okay, so now everything is dry. I want to show you the colors. The first one right here is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus in Porcelain. So that's the shade right here. The next shade is the, trying to do this so you can actually see both at the same time, is the Maybelline Dream Mousse foundation, and this is in Porcelain Ivory. And this is dry, and it's like tacky. This one feels like it's got a powder finish, where this one is like still tacky, and it's been a while, like over an hour. This one here is the Revlon 3X. This is the Fresh Ivory 05. That's the shade right here. And this one too feels tacky. The next shade, which I do know is way too light for me, this is the Maybelline 24 Hours. This is in 102. And again, that one feels tacky as well. And then this is 120. I had 110, but it was way too pink on my skin, so I took it back and got the 120, thinking that I could mix this one with this one. This is a 2-to-1 ratio of these two colors mixed, where I did 2 of this and 1 of this. And then from basically right here over is a 1-to-1 ratio. So as of right now, looking at this, and after looking at it in the mirror on my own, this color is close, but it's too pink. It's like just a hint too dark. So maybe if I added just a touch of this shade to it, it would be the right lightness and maybe not quite so pink. This is usually what I do, usually a 1-to-1 or like 1.5-to-1 of these two colors mixed to make a shade somewhere in between these two. And then the Wet n Wild one is almost perfect. This one here is just way too pink. Like this one here, when I first put it on my skin, I couldn't even tell the difference on my face, like where I had put it without looking in the mirror. So what I'll probably do is go and do like stripes on my chest, because again, because most people, like Jackie Ina, she tests foundation like right here on her chest, and that is how she figures out her foundation shade, is by testing it here instead of on the face. And my face is a little bit different in shade. Since I've been using the alpha hydroxy acids and the hyaluronic acids and the glycolic acids on my face since April 1st, I have noticed that the color of my face has gotten darker than the rest of me. So, and you can see the color difference between how pink my forehead looks right now. Even like I'm always really red from here over. So all of this area on my face is usually really red. But like where I'm like really yellow, green, sallow on my forehead, my hand used to be a perfect match to that part of my face. And even now my face is is it's a whole different shade. So I don't know if it has anything to do with the skincare that I'm using, but I could try this shade with a touch of this, or maybe just stick with the photo focus. I mean, out of all of them, this shade here and this one here are the least tacky out of all of them. Well, and of course this one here, because it's the same kind as this. I mean, these two don't feel as tacky as like this one or this one. But this one feels like I've got powder on my face, which is nice because I have, well, now that I'm coming into the summer months here in Florida, we go from hot to not quite as hot to freezing to hot. So we don't have like spring or autumn like some places do. But let me try and like just take off some. And the Maybelline foundation, these two don't like to come off without some serious scrub action. Try and get them all level. Now this, there's no, I mean, I can't do anything about that. I just got them too close together. But I can delineate that line in between this shade and this shade here. So now you can actually see where the 102, 120, the 1-to-1 ratio is, or I mean 2-to-1 ratio versus the 1-to-1 ratio. And of course, I did it down my neck a little because I had too much on my fingers. So this is usually close to what I do, which isn't too far off from this one. I don't know. I'm almost wondering if it's just going to be easier just to buy the one photo focus when I run out of everything else instead of, because what I was trying to do was find a foundation that would not only work for my dry skin, but would be a good color match. So I picked this up thinking, okay, well, it looked dark enough or light enough in the bottle, but then when you put it on, it's almost white. You're like, oh crap. So I went back and got 110 and got home with it only to realize that the seal had been broken on it. Same thing happened with this one, but thankfully the pump hadn't been used, so I felt okay keeping it, or I would have returned 120 as well. But so I got a bunch of different ones, and this one again looked a little dark in the store, but I figured I could always try lightening it up. And this one, there was no other option. I mean, it's pink. I'm a warm undertone. There was nothing to be helped there, and it's hard to find foundation as it is, being fair skinned and a warm undertone. It's like being, dark skinned and not having anything that's dark enough for you, or when you find a shade that's dark enough, it's too red. Just because they're a tanner complexion doesn't mean that they're not going to have different tones to their skins. I know girls that, like I said, I went to school with a girl that was from the islands, and she was very dark skinned. She had a beautiful skin color that was really dark, but she had a really rich red undertone. And I know other people that have, warmer undertones that are more olive instead of pink or red. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's hard for a lot of people to find foundations, whether you're on the fair end of the spectrum or the deep end of the spectrum. It seems like they make foundations for that happy medium and then like exclude the other ends. It's kind of like taking a pencil and cutting it in half, and then that way, well, you can always sharpen the center of it, or you cut off the beginning piece and you cut off the end piece, which means you can sharpen both ends of the pencil, which is great. You've got a double-ended pencil. Okay, but where's your eraser? Where's the beginning of the pencil? Where's the end of the pencil? It's like that. And it looks like I got foundation off my chin. Yep, that's probably exactly where that came from. Yep, on my shirt. I'm talented like that. I didn't have any on this side because the foundation that was on my chin was only on this side. Talent. Anyways, I'm going to go wash all this off and hop in the shower. This was just a test to see which was going to be closer to my skin tone and light enough. So maybe next time I put foundation on, my dad won't say, "Oh my God, you look like a ghost," or "That's too pale for you," or "You look like you have pink eye because you're wearing pink eyeshadow." Go figure. Anyways, guys, I will see you in my next video. Hopefully you have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will talk to you in the comments. Bye.